Spencer. Let's go and have some adventures. Let's go and have some adventures with Thomas. Let's go and have some adventures. Sodor's a fun place to be. Sodor's greatest adventures. Sodor's greatest adventures.
One day in Bickerstone's yard, Henry was refilling a water and coal for his next job when James puffed in. "Hello, Hen," said James. "Hello, James." Or James, said Henry, the two best friends. "What are you doing?" "Doing nothing much," said James. I just deliver a goods train here. Wait a minute, switch with you. No, she's back at Crone's Gate. Had to pick up another goods train from there and I'll be using her. Why do you ask? Can I let you on a secret? Of course you can, said James. Henry spoke to James. "So you know that story Rachel told us about Cyrus and her? Oh yeah, that engine who crashed without scrap. What about it?" "Well, I'm thinking I might go to the mainland." "The mainland?" said James. "Are you definitely sure about this?" "I have been there a few times, you know," said Henry. "Well," said James. "Well, I'm not really sure. You do realize there is that the scrapyard that's Barrow." Yes, I know Barrow very well. Barrow and Furnace they call it, but still, said Henry. Like Barrow is connected to our railway, including the mainland railway. Huh, said Henry. So what? Can't be that bad. Well, said James, I do know Barrow because that's where I found Rachel, remember? I see, said Henry. And besides, I can come along, I do know the way to Barrow. I suppose why not, said Henry, and it's best to bring Rachel as well. Okay, said James. Are you sure Cyrus is not scrapped? He can't be scrapped, said Henry. What's the worst that can happen to him? And we meet back here at Bickerstown. Okay then, said James. Henry puffed away, and so did James. For the rest of the day, James and Henry were rushing their jobs. Even though it wasn't part of the timetable, but they really wanted to finish their jobs fast so they can go to the mainland tonight. Even Rachel was busy with James as well. James told Rachel everything, and Rachel agreed to it. Even James took his mail train early before even Percy can collect it at regular time. "Alright," said James. That's the last of the mail," he said. As he and Rachel coupled up and went off. Henry even took to find Kipper early himself. He was thinking about more of the plan. Maybe if I may have not been on the mainland for a long time, but James and Rachel know the way to Barrow, so they can really show me the way. And Henry raced down the line with the flying Kipper. After that, he headed off back to Bickerstown to wait for James and Rachel. Henry waited in the yard for James and Rachel to arrive. When Rosie puffed in, she was just heading to the sheds. He saw Henry waiting. "What are you doing, Henry?" she said. Henry saw Rosie and was shocked. I'm doing nothing, Rosie," said Henry. "I am just waiting for James to arrive." What for? "He's delivering the mail." "Yes, he's delivering the mail." "We were just going to have a little small chat, Okay. The rose puffed away. Come on, James, where are you? When James arrived at Beckstown, Percy was there with the mail. So James got a bit of a fight. Oh, Percy, what are you doing with the mail? I'm just delivering. Where's your mail trucks? James looked. Oh, someone else took it. Thomas took it. Don't forget, Thomas used to pour the mail. He offered to take it. Why are you here with Rachel? Oh, we had to pick up a midnight goods train. Good night, Percy. Good night, Percy. They set off to the yard to meet up with Henry. Something isn't right, said Percy, but he didn't have time to chat. Henry was still in the yards when James and Rachel arrived. We almost got caught by Percy, they said. I almost got caught by Rosie, but at least we made it out. Now, said Henry, we have to make up for lost time. Yes. What? I'll lead the way to the bridge. Barrow, here we come, said James. Yes, said Rachel. And with that, they set off. They went over the Beckersound rolling bridge and puffed onto the other side. Now that's over and done with, said Henry. We'll find on the mainland. Now let's find Barrow, said James. And with that, they went off. They soon arrived at Barrow's yards, Barrow Furnace, or Barrow Station, part of the mainland railway. Here we are, said Henry. Looks spooky, said James. Did we switch tracks, said Rachel? Yeah, we did. Anyways, let's head in, said Henry. They rolled into the yard. They soon puffed into Barrow's yard, where James found Rachel. Is this where you found Rachel? Yes, they said James and Rachel all together. Right, so pirate could be here. Just then they heard a couple of voices. Quick, hide, they said. There was a nearby shed in Barrow yards. Three friends went in there. They're slowly. Quick, let's get behind the doors. No one can find us there, said Henry, until the voices passed. It's so bored we have no steam engines to scrap. It was 2 diesel engines. Well, why can we not scrap that green one? What green one? That green steamy one that hasn't been scrapped in years after it's cracked from some bike van. Wait, are they talking about me, said Rachel? I have no idea, said Henry. Me either, said James. What was his name? Start with a P or something. But now we scrap him soon. I think the boss wants us to find some more steamy scrap in case there are any more on the mainland. Is that a bit, well, hourly, but this is one of the half-fires on the mainland, so we better go and find them. Find whoever these, steamies are. If we can find any at all. I suppose you're right. And this time when we find a steamy, don't blow your horn like last time. I was trying to get his attention. Oh, shut up. Henry, James, and Rachel rolled out of the sheds. They don't sound like friendly, said Henry. Of course they don't, said James. Not all diesels are friendly. Like some diesels, like Paxton, Norman, Sydney are. Weave and Daisy, well, I suppose, kind of a bit of show off, but still. Even Spectrum and Dodge have changed. True, said Henry, but well. Anyways, let's even dance for another example. But anyways, we'll even Mavis, but let's go find some Iris. So they head back to the yard. Henry, said James. What, James? Said Henry. Are you sure this is a good idea? Like, if we take the pirates, we'll be all scrapped. Stuff and nonsense, James. We will rescue the pirates. Besides, if you rescue Rachel, we can rescue the pirates. whispered. You're not scared, are you? Of course not, said James. I can do this. So can me, said Rachel. Fine, said Henry. Just stop panicking about it, said Henry. You've been like this since we've been coming over the mainland. All right, said James. Let's just find the pirate's engine. Fine, said Henry. I think we're about to get more trouble. They looked over through the trucks that were there, with no luck. Just then a voice came. What are you doing here? What was that? Said James. Wait, is that like a ghost sign? Ghosts don't exist, James, said Henry crossly. He was starting to get fed up with James. Alright, keep the voice down, Hen, said James. Yes, Rachel. Fine, said Henry. Henry was starting to get fed up with James. Over here, said a voice. The two engines looked, including Rachel, and they were surprised. There in the siding was an old engine that had been scrapped for years. James, Henry, and Rachel were surprised. Who are you? Said James. I am the Pyrus. Rachel was surprised. The Pyrus? A Pyrus was surprised. Rachel! See, old friends back together again, said Henry. Friends? She's the one who caused my accident. Rachel was shocked. What are you talking about? I told you didn't mind. You knew it was the trucks. No, you're the one who caused it, says Pyrus. Okay, you're now being a little bit rude now, Pyrus, said Henry. We've come all the way to find you, and now you're being rude? No, sorry. I think you should have told my old controller about this. Well, we couldn't, could we, said James. It's like, this was Henry's idea. James, said Henry. Your idea was a big green fella. Well, I don't mind bringing that red friend of yours. I have you know I am his best friend, James, from the island of Sodor. So Sodor is where you came from. And besides, I think that's where you escaped to, Rachel, was it? Well, okay, yes, because James rescued me. So, this James engine rescue you, says the pirate. Oh, what was this now? Oh, was Henry like jealous or something? Or maybe you wanted to go back here to try and get revenge on these trucks on me? Or maybe you just want to, oh, I don't know, maybe scrap these two as well. How dare you, said Rachel. Alright, that's enough, said James. Maybe from the both of you. Rachel didn't cause the crash, the trucks did it. Oh, where is the proof, says the pirate. Henry blew his whistle. Enough, said Henry. So, Pyrus, I have came all the way here with my friends, and all you do is just being rude. We were going to try and have you back in really useful, said Henry. Then why didn't you say, said Pyrus? Because you just took off like some mad bulldozer or something. You know what? You can forget it. I'm leaving. Forget about you being useful. You can just stay here and get scrapped. You teach him, Hen, said James. Oh, you don't think I'm done with you yet? Said Henry. James was surprised. What are you talking about? What have I done? For the rest of this journey, James, or maybe I should say, James, you have just been like, we shouldn't come here, and maybe Rachel was like that as well. I was not, said Rachel. Yes, you were, said Henry. You two didn't want to come back here, whereas you might be scrapped, or maybe Rachel will be scrapped. Now that's enough, Henry. Hen, we forget about calling our nicknames, said Henry. You know what? You two can stay if you want to get scrapped, or maybe reckless a pirate yourself, said Henry. I'm leaving. Wait, I didn't mean to upset you, said James. Well, forget it, said Henry. I am better with all of you. The pirates, you can forget about being rescued by me. These two can probably rescue you. The pirates didn't say a word. He now felt sorry. Now if you excuse me, I'm heading back to Sodor. And James, if you want to come along, then come along then. Come on! Henry puffed away. James hurlings were hurt, but he got a bit mad. And I didn't mean to upset his feelings. How should I know? Just calm down, James. I can't believe Henry treated me like that. And I thought we were best friends. Spider spoke up. Oh, never mind, James. This is my fault. I should have not gone crazy over me and Rachel's backstory. Rachel, I'm sorry for what happened. You're right. The truck's full of trouble. It's fine, said Rachel. I can't believe I just lost my temper. I just never want to see you again, Rachel. But when I heard you escaped the sodor, I really got jealous of you. And now, looks like I can't be rescued. James smiled. I will rescue you. Besides, I may not be strong as Henry, but I can still be really useful. But what about your friend? I don't know. I didn't really mean to upset him, and we're best friends. The pirate spoke to James nicely. James, best friends is a great responsibility. Not all best friends things happen or worked out. You have to realize that Henry was annoyed by this, and you might have to fix this somehow. You're right, said James. What can I do? Just let Henry get over it. I'm sure he will talk to you at some stage. You're right. Let's just get you. Before James could say anything else, he saw some smart trucks.
Huh. What?
How long have these trucks been here for? Quite a while. Why do you ask? says the pirate. I do like the looks of them, and they look really useful for the back controllers railway. Any chance can we take them? Maybe a lot, but worth a try, said the pirate. If you're strong enough. I'll do my best, said James. Are you sure we're full with plenty of water and coal before we left Sodor? Says Rachel. Of course we are, said James. With that, James went to get turned around with Rachel. Meanwhile, Henry was heading back to Sodor. He was cross. Huh, James, Rachel's pirate was arguing. Everything I did serves them right. Meanwhile, James got the pirates and the trucks he found all together set up. Are you sure it's not a good idea to put Rachel at the back with the truck so we know it's like a goods train, like a double header or something? Maybe, said James, but then everyone probably realized you're a scrap engine. True, says the pirate. We do have a boyfriend anyway. But are you sure you have enough water and coal, said Rachel. I don't have any. And those trucks might not any of those either, said the pirate. I have plenty, said James. And I will be strong enough. We can get back to Sodor before sunlight. And with that, James pulled Rachel's pirates and the trucks he found away from Barrow. On the journey, they were making good timing. James was strong enough to pull both everything on the train until it happened. What's happening? Said Rachel. They started to slow down. Mother, said James, I'm out of water. You gotta be kidding me, says the pirate. Even worse, we're stuck on the main line on the mainland. What do you mean? Said James. I mean, there'll be diesels out hunting for steamies. If they see us, yes, they know I'm escaping. Even worse, they will see Rachel, and they knew Rachel already escaped. And if they see me, they would scrap me, right? They don't know you're from Sodor properly, so they will probably might as well scrap you, says the pirate. Oh no, said James. We gotta get out somehow. Well, there's gotta be a nearby water tower. There isn't, said Rachel. I can't see any. There's no point if you can't move to a near water tower, says the pirate. We might as well surrender. No, said James. We can't give up. We will get to Sodor. Meanwhile, Henry stood away at the Bigstown Bridge. The bridge was lifted up because some ships had to pass on it, and so you can't cross the Sodor. He waited and waited. And he looked around. He was wondering if James and Rachel were behind him. They were not. Where are they? Said Henry. I probably left those good enough friends of them behind, said Henry. But as Henry waited and waited, they still didn't turn up, and it was almost time for the bridge to come down. But then Henry started to get worried. I was too harsh on them, especially James. Oh, Henry, why did it be like this? Sometimes being a family member is hard work if you're not sleeping at the same shed. But then again, I did accept that when Emily was out of action. And James is just not just one of friend, he is my best friend. And we knew what he had to do. I must go and find them immediately, said Henry. With that, Henry puffed away. Meanwhile, James, Rachel, and Papyrus were still stuck. We might as well have to surrender, says Papyrus. We may see no diesels yet, but we know we'll be spotted for sure, and it's too dark to see anything. Besides our lamps. Well, your and Rachel's lamps at least. My ones are broken, you know. Oh, this is all my fault, said James. I shouldn't went, you know, go mad over it, you know. Never mind, says Papyrus. We all know my mistakes. Just then, they saw Henry popping beside them. Henry, what are you doing back here? They said. I felt really silly on me, and I'm sorry for what I did back at Barrow. Oh, you're right, James. You are my best friend. Thanks, Hen, and I'm sorry for what I did. It's fine. It's fine. Fine, James, said Henry. Do they always call each other Dad? Asked Rachel. Yeah, said Rachel. It's sort of like a best friend way, you know. I see, says Papyrus. Anyways, I'll bring you to a nearby water tower. Will you be strong enough? Said James. I may have not won the shrink competition, but I'm still strong enough to know. With that, Henry pulled the mighty train all the way to a nearby water tower. Soon he found a nearby water tower for James to fill on. Then Henry started asking some questions. Where do you find those trucks, Hen? asked James, said Henry. Oh, I found them in the yard where we saw the pirates, and I thought they'd be nice additions to the island of Sodor. It's back in trouble, of course. Alright, they don't look too bad, back addition. I'm sure Vic will be able to restore them. The factory agrees, of course. Same as the pirates. Yeah, said James. Oh, I hope you like Sodor, said Rachel. It's so beautiful. Oh, I can't wait, says the pirates. If your controller agrees, of course. It's sure to, said James. The factory will take any engine. He's called the Fat Controller? Is that a bit rude? Like, if his tummy is, what, you know. Oh, don't worry, said James. He's fine with us calling him the Fat Controller. Some people call him the Topham Hat, but we usually call him the Fat Controller, and he's fine with that. I see, says Papyrus. Just then, 2 diesel horns were heard. Uh-oh, said James. What is it? When we swam on water, said James, Papyrus said that there'll be diesel engines hunting for steamies on the mainland. So you're telling me we're going to be chased by diesels, aren't we? Yeah, said James. Oh no, said Henry. It was 2 diesel engines that they saw at Barrow. They saw the long train. Hey, said Diesel, look, there's 2 steamies pulling it. Oh look, they look like some soda engines to me. Wait a minute. Oi! That red one has the brake van, said Diesel. What was her name? Rachel, was it? Oh no, not you 2, said Rachel. Oh, Rachel, we'll be hunting you for a long time now, but we don't know where you went. Till we found a Sodor. Anyways, and who's it? Oh no, they're stealing an engine! Jin, I say we should call the boss or get the Diesel gang, said Diesel. You wanna get our friends? Yeah, said the Diesel. Wait, is that your control coming over there? Asked Henry. Yeah, is it, said James. 2 Diesels looked. Oh, hey, control, and run for it, said Henry and James. Oh, they tracked us! said the left diesel. Get after them, said the right diesel. They chase after them. We may not be fast as them, but we're still probably a bit faster. We may be small, but we can still catch up, can't we? Yeah. Are you filled with water to your tank? James' driver checked. I am, said James. I have plenty of water. What about you? Same here. Cooling coal? Yep, said James. We use all them up as fast as we can. Well, hurry, suppliers, because they're catching up. Yes, adventure, I can see them. Henry and James used up all the water across they can. The firemen were stoking coal into them fast as they can, and the driver was checking their speed. And they were using up all the speed they had in them, including all their strength to pull the train together. They're almost at the Beckerstown Bridge, the sodor, said one of the diesels. We gotta stop them somehow, said another diesel. Maybe we could try to collide them on points. But just then they saw points up ahead. It was only a one-way switch for the two diesels, because the Beckerstown Rolling Bridge has one track. Henry and James and the others were on the right track, and they were on the left track. Look out! Whoa! They raced over the Beckerstown Rolling Bridge. We're almost there! They're on sodor though! We can still catch them! Meanwhile, Percy and Rosie were in Beckerstown's yard. They were chatting. I saw Henry in the yard. He said he was waiting for James or something. He was delivering a goods train and we could have a small chat. Said Percy. I saw James today. As well, he said he had waited to pick up a very important goods train. Do you think that's what he and him were up to? I don't know, said Percy, but the way they said them is a bit weird, doesn't it? They were cut by two whistles. They sound familiar, don't they? Sounds like Henry and James. Then they saw some lights. Oh no, pretty soon that's the Phantom Express again. I don't think it is, said Rosie. It looks like it's Henry in front and James. They have Rachel and some green engine and trucks with them. So they won't pick up a goods train after all? I don't know, but they seem to come in the direction from the mainland. Why would they go there? I have no idea. Wait a minute. Why do I see two diesels chasing them? Uh-oh, said Percy. I think they were on the mainland. Why would they do on the mainland? I have no clue, said Percy. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Where are the points set to? Oh no, said Rosie. I'm trying to set to the yards. Yeah, we might want to get clear, said Percy. Yeah, we better back up a bit, said Rosie. This is probably going to be a huge crash. They soon reached into Vickerstown's yard. The two diesels were still beside them. We got you now. You went into a yard, and there's no way you can escape it now. Henry and James keep. But the coupling between Henry's dinner and James' buffers was starting to get loose, and the coupling snapped. Same with James and Rachel. The coupling kind of snapped from that as well. Henry braked and almost biffed some buffers beside Percy. Phew, said Henry. James went onto another track. Said James. James buffed into some buffers and fell off the track. It was only his front wheels. Are you okay, James? I'm fine, said James. But what about Rachel and the others? Oh, look, said Diesel. I see two tank engines, though. They might be finding other collections. It's probably their friends. We can take them as well. And look, the two engines have uncoupled. The red one's crashed. Now we got them where we want them. Let's couple up. Rachel saw some points. We gotta stop, says the pirates. Rachel tried an idea. I'll apply my brakes. You be strong enough, says the pirates. Pirates, we crashed before because I couldn't brake properly. I'm not gonna let this happen again. Rachel braked. She braked, and luckily she stopped just in time. The diesels didn't stop in time. Whoa, they said. Oh, they were going too fast. They tried applying their brakes, but they were still going too fast. And they also crashed some buffers. Whoa, they said. But they went out farther than James was. The two of them were derailed. Phew, you stopped us, said the Pyrus. I know, said Rachel. I believe you didn't crash like last time. Yes, said the Pyrus. Look, those two diesels stopped. Well, crashed them, Rosie. Where were you two? Well, sure you were Rachel, said Percy. The engines explained everything. They even told the story about Rachel's backstory. Oh, said Rosie and Percy. We didn't want to tell you, said James, because we didn't want to spoil the secret. And that engine is a Pyrus. In fact, he's one of the top 10 fastest steam engines in the world. Oh, really? Said Percy and Rosie. Yes, said the Pyrus. I broke 105 miles per hour, he said. That's cool. Wait a minute, said Rosie. You look like the Flying Scotsman in Gordon's shape. I know Flying Scotsman's still on the mainland. I know he works there, says the Pyrus, but are you telling me Gordon's still around? Yes, said the engines. He still pulls the express on Sodor. Why do you ask? Why, bless me, he and Flying Scotsman are my brothers. Wait, they are? Yes, you know, Flying Scotsman book 100 miles per hour, you know. Including I heard one time Gordon set a record and got special coats or something. But anyways, Pyrus, oh, I hope I get to meet them again someday. Just then they heard a diesel noise. Here there is another diesel engine from the mainland. Paxton, it could be the mainland controller. Said the two diesels that they were. They were unnamed. What happened? However, a green diesel came in. Hey, you green one, said one of the diesels. Can you help us? Sorry, said the diesel. Can't. What? Coming into the yard was Paxton. Hello, everyone, said Paxton. Hey, they said. Paxton saw the whole mess. What's going on here? I'd like to know the same thing as well, said a voice. It was the back controller. He stepped out of Paxton's cab. Paxton brought him here to the scene. He was wondering where James and Henry were. Queen Rachel, he soon found out. Hang on, said Percy. I'll pull you out, James. Thanks, Percy, said James. Percy buffed up to James. The back controller looked around. He saw the whole mess as Percy lifted James back onto the rails. Well done, Percy, said the back controller. Now, I want an explanation here, said the back controller. First off, I'm going to start with Henry, James, and Rachel. So, where exactly did you three went off to, said the back controller. We went to the mainland, sir, said Henry. What happened for? To rescue an engine across the Pyrus. They told the story about Rachel. I see, said the back controller. Well, unfortunately, this was careless of you too. Sorry, sir, said the two engines. I think so too. You should have told me this. Then maybe I could have found a way to talk to the controller. Sorry. But we were treated by those two diesels. I'll speak to them in a minute, said the back controller. Then he walked over to Pyrus. He looked at Pyrus. Wait a minute, you're an A-tree, aren't you? Like Flying Scotsman and Gordon. Yes, sir, says Pyrus. I'm one of their brothers. But I thought all A-trees were scrapped, said the back controller. Well, you could say that, sir, said Pyrus, but I was meant to be scrapped the day I would crash, but for some reason they didn't scrap me yet. I see, said the back controller. You're just the perfect engine I need on Sodor, since almost done with the summer times. Oh, really, sir? Thank you, sir. I will be honored to help you. Excellent, said the back controller. That's a good engine. They saw some of the trucks James found. Where did you get these trucks, guys? Oh, I found them on the mainland, sir. I thought it'd be nice additions, if you like them. The back controller smiled. He walked back over. Henry, James, Rachel, you three have found some nice additions to our railway. First off being the trucks, which will be a nice addition to some goods work, as well as the Papyrus. The Papyrus is just the engine we need to help. The engines were happy. For that, you three are really useful, brave engines. Thank you, sir, they said. Now you may take them to the steamworks to be restored. Just then, the factor spoke to the two diesels. I don't know what your controller does on your railway, but if I ever find you two hunting engines that belong to me, you will be paying for it. Including your controller. I'm having words with your controller about his behavior and his choices. Sorry, sir. Can we please get left out? We see what your controller says. We'll see if he changed or not, said my controller, and he walked away. The coupling perfects, and Henry and James took the pirates to the steamers, including the truck for Rachel. And this time, Percy, Paxton, and Rosie helped them to the steamworks as well. The pirates were soon in the steamworks as everyone left. There you go, pirates, they said. Thank you all, said the pirates. We couldn't wait to be fixed. At Cromsgate Sheds, Ivor was just resting when James puffed in, including with the rest of the engines, Henry, Rosie, Percy, and Paxton. Even though there was only four buffs in the shed. Get ready, Ivor, because we have our guests tonight. Ivor was surprised. We only got four buffs though. Don't worry. Some of them can sleep in the good. Two of them can sleep in the good sheds. As James spun on the turntable and back down beside Ivor, and Henry puffed in. He spun on the turntable and back down beside James. Then Rosie puffed in. She spun and back down beside Henry. As for Percy and Paxton, they offered to sleep in the goods sheds, and they had Rachel there as well. Percy sung to her. There you go, said Percy. Thanks, Rachel. Thanks for singing to her, Percy, said James. You're welcome. As Percy and Paxton slept in the goods sheds, as the rest of them slept in the sheds. Oh, this is the biggest pile of engines I ever seen at Cromsgate Sheds. Me too, said James. Beside other visitors, like, as they stepped in the sheds. It wasn't long before until the pirate was soon fixed up. After those trucks, he was the first engine to take them for a run. The pirate now walks on the iron sodor, pouring freight and passengers. He doesn't work on the main line. He does work his hardest. And whenever he sees flying Scotsman and Gordon, he always gives him a toot of his whistle. Scotsman and Gordon was surprised that the pirates is so alive, but so happy one of their brothers survived. And whenever he sees James, Rachel, and Henry, he always gives a toot of his whistle to them, and always says thank you for what they've done, and they all become friends. I think Henry understands that there was no need to snap at James, including the others, but really, I think they have learned less. I think these two have learned less about running off without telling anybody. I think they have, don't you? Let's go and have some adventures with Thomas. No, it's when so those greatest adventures.